Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Coupon codes can be found at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Money tab at the top of the page. Holly, if you want time for a garden question and answer, getting ahead of myself, if you've got a question, submit it on over to avenues in which you can do that. GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. That's GardenTalkRadio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call toll free, coast to coast, at 1-800-927-SHOW, 1-800-927-7469. If you can't get through, leave a message and we will call you back.
I live on a military base and we aren't supposed to plant in the ground due to contamination. If I buy a raised bed, how deep do you think it would need to be to grow something like tomatoes and not have them reach the earth below? Do I need some sort of additional barrier? I would recommend...
Well, first of all, whether it's you or your spouse or loved one, thank you for your service. Thank you for protecting us. And here's what we have to offer on that particular question.
So I would purchase some sort of raised bed situation that has a bottom, whether that be like a huge grow container type of situation, or putting down something underneath your raised bed, weed barrier,
or a rubber mat.
Yeah, like a rubber mat, something like that.
What about buckets?
Buckets would work too. You could do straw bales
with that mat, keeping the roots from penetrating through the straw bale.
Yeah. So you want to create some sort of barrier or plant in something that would have a natural barrier, like a bucket or a huge grow container, grow bag, etc.
Oh, there you go. All right. Next question here, Holly.
When is a good time to put lime down on my lawn?
The best time to put lime down is typically in the fall. And the rain and the freeze and the thaw cycle will help work it in and break it down, the lime effectively. It will raise your pH level, so keep that in mind if you do concern about that. However, spring can also be a good time to apply lime, especially if you have tested that soil and indicates that you need an adjustment for that lime. All right, number one.
So I planted seeds and all of my tomatoes are growing, but I was wanting to put them outside because I don't have room in my home to keep them inside. I built a frame around the table and I was using 2 mil plastic all around to make it a greenhouse. What that work for them, or will they die? They are stretching, reaching for light. Even though I have lights on them, I feel like they need sun, but we are still having snow and freezing temps. So I don't know what to do. I keep finding things about replanting them, but I already have them in pots. I was going to keep them in because I'm selling them plants that need to be replanted. So I guess basically I need to know how long they have to stay inside.
Okay, well, you want to start your seeds, first of all, 6 to 8 weeks before your last average frost date. The plants are getting leggy. The only plant in which you can benefit from that is tomatoes by planting them deeper or in the trench method, because everywhere the stem hits soil, more roots can be developing in that final location of planting. Don't want to put them outside because they need to have temperatures. Realistically, even if they're in containers, 45 degrees or above is in that 45 to 60 degree. They're still going to kind of be a little iffy. They're not going to like it. They'll survive, but they won't like it at night. So you want to try to replant what you can now for your cell and utilize the plants in which are leggy for your own purpose, or people who understand how to plant leggy plants, tomato plants. And that's, unless you've got something else, that there's really limited solutions to this particular problem.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If it's cold and snow, you can't put them outside, and yeah.
Okay. What is a good rabbit prevention method?
Fencing. 2 foot tall
poultry fencing. 1 inch square or smaller, because the 2 inch, they come in the diamond shapes. 2 inches, baby rabbits can slide through that.
Yeah,
that's no different than the chain link fence.
Yeah, 1 inch. That's pretty much it. You can do research where they're like, use human hair, use marigolds, use blah blah blah. We tried all those things, and For us, it was the fencing.
The fencing, yeah. And we have it even in our raised beds. We've got 4 foot wide by 8 to 12 and 16 foot raised beds, 2 by 10. So we plant our bed and then we put the chicken wire around the inside perimeter of that bed, so it's inside of the wood. So when they jump up, they hit it and they bounce back. You don't want to just be lagging all over the place because it'll create pockets and they'll slide between the chicken wire, the board, and then get up in your bed.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's secure.
Yeah. So let's see here. I have store-bought potatoes, red, yellow, and some are sprouting now. I have about another month before they are actually ready to go in the ground, meaning the soil temperature will be adequate at root zone. Number one, can I plant store-bought potatoes? And number two, will they last another month before I put them in the ground?
Yeah, you can plant them, and I think they're fine to last.
Well, first, you can plant store-bought, but if they are sprouting, you can plant them.
Yeah.
Now, the size may vary on the return, because the smaller the potato, the more energy it's using to grow the sprouts. And if it's not a big russet or red potato, you may get some smaller potatoes, but they're not going to waste. You're going to get some type of production on that potato that otherwise could not be consumed.
Now, if they are a larger potato, like I know sometimes those red potatoes and yellow potatoes can be, I don't know, a couple inches long.
Right.
You might want to, if they have several sprouts on them, you might want to cut them in half to if there's like a sprout on each end or something like that.
If they're large enough.
If they're large enough.
Now, if they're wrinkly and they're kind of shriveled up, I would avoid cutting
yeah.
them. Yeah, because of the energy.
Yeah. So you kind of have to use your best discretion there. But yeah, you should be fine.
Okay, real quickly here, 4 square foot. All right, see, I'm going to try to grow kohlrabi for the first time this year and planning to start seeds in the house. One, can I transplant them out? It says 55 days to harvest. What does that mean? Does it mean when I put them in the ground or when I start them indoors? And I'm getting mixed answers. I'm in zone 5A. How many go in a square foot? Well, first of all, 4 kohlrabi in a square foot.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with kohlrabi, you should look it up. There's green and burgundy, and they're very unique, kind of cabbage-like texture or taste above ground plants.
Yeah.
And explain the garden math from time to harvest. Is it from when the seed goes in the seed tray or when it goes in the ground?
In the ground.
And that's when your time starts ticking at 55 days.
Right.
It's you would think, I started in the seed tray at 100 days. No, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Just the way it works there.